Manisha Pancakam will chant from the first mantra onwards. Om Annamaya Annamayam Athava Chaitanyameva Chaityanat Vijavara Duri Kartam Banchasi Imbruhi Gacha Gachati Im Ganga Puni Bimbite Ambaramano Chandalabati Paya Puri Chanta Ramasti Kanchanagati Mrutkumbha Yovambare प्रत्यक वस्तुनि निस्तरंग सहजा आनंदो बबोधा बुधो विप्रोयम सपुचोयम इत्याभिमान ओयम विभेद भ्रमा जाग्रत स्वप्न सुसुप्तिषु स्फुटतरा या संवित् उज्जृम्भते या ब्रह्मादि पिपीलिकान्ततनसु प्रोता जगत्साक्षिणी सैवाहं न च दृश्यवात्प्रीति दृढे प्रज्ञापि यस्यास्ति चेत् चाण्डालोऽस्तु सतोदिजोऽस्तु दूरे हृत्यैषा मनीषा मम ब्रह्मैवाहमिदं जगच्च सकलं चिन्मात्रविस्तारितं सर्वं चैतदविद्यया त्रिगुणया अशेषं मया कल्पितम् इत्थं यस्य दृढामति सुखतरे नित्ये परे निर्मले चाण्डालोऽस्तु सतोदिजोऽस्तु गुरु इत्येषा मनीषा मम सस्वत्नस्वरमेव विश्वखिलं निश्चित्य वाचा गुरोः नित्यं ब्रह्म निरन्तरं विमृशता निर्वाजशान्तात्मना भूतं भावि च दुष्कृतं प्रदहता संवित् मये पावके प्रारब्धाय समर्पितं स्ववपु इत्येषा मनीषा मम या तिर्यं नरदेवताभिः अहमिति अन्तःस्फुटा गृह्यते यद्भाषा हृदयाक्षदेह विषया भान्ति स्वतो चेतनः हम भाष्ये पिहिता कर्म मंडल निभा स्फूर्ति सदा भावयन् योगी निवृत मानसो हे गुरु तेषा मनीषा मम यत् सौख्यं बुद्धि लेशलेशतयि मे शक्रादयो निवृतः यच्चित्ते नितरां प्रशान्तकलने लब्ध्वा मुनिर्निवृतः यस्मिन्नित्य सुखं बुधो गलितधि ब्रह्मैव न ब्रह्मवित् य कस्मिंश्च सुरेन्द्र वन्दितपदा नूनं मनीषा मम यत्सौख्यं बुद्धि लेशलेशतयि मे शक्रादयो निवृतः शीते नितरां प्रशान्तकलने लब्ध्वा मुनिर्निवृतः नित्य सुखं बुधो गलितधिः ब्रह्मैव न ब्रह्मवित् य कश्चित् स सुरेन्द्र वन्दित पदो नूनं मनीषा मम हरि ओम. Welcome you to this session of Manisha Pancakam. It's only 5 verses and it encompasses the entire Vedanta Shastra. And we just chanted the 5 verses now. And today we'll be dwelling upon the final concluding verse, which is the summary and result of the Manisha Pancakam. Okay. In the beginning, we had the encounter of Shankaracharya with his sisters moving up the steps of the Varanasi, and he encountered a Chandala a sweeper who was dirty looking. So he told, you move away, so that because you are thinking he's a pious person and he is going to the uh, you know temple. So he said, move away. So the Chandala asked in the first sloka, he asked the Shankaracharya, the whole, how can you move the matter from the matter? My body is physical, your body is physical. Who are to move what? And how can you, what do you mean by separating the my spirit from your spirit? The spirit is everywhere. How can you separate? Such a loaded question. Your physical body, my physical body, Panchamahabhuta is one. Your consciousness, my consciousness, the spirit is the same. Whom to separate? You are saying gacha gacha. Where to go? And in the next sloka, he says that if that sun is reflecting on the waters of the Ganga, is there a difference with that reflection and the reflection of the sun on the west side Nalla? Same sun is reflecting in the both. Depending on where is it reflecting, in the Ganga you are saying it's pavitra, and in the drain you are saying dirty. There cannot be reflection, cannot be difference. Okay. So same way he says that existence can be in the kumbha, in the mrittika kumbha, in the mud pot, or it can be also on a kanchanagati. It can be a gold pot also. So how can you say that pot is different? So these are two very pertinent questions he asked, upon which Bhagavan Shankaracharya became alarmed. He said, I am not meeting an ordinary person. So he must be an, Bhagavan Shivji himself. He has come down to teach me a lesson, my attachment to these worldly things that I'm doing. So he said, this is my deep conviction. I am not this body, mind, and you may be just whoever may be, who knows this subject, who knows that same Chaitanya illuminating me and everybody else, and I am the sole witness of that. That Sakshi Chaitanya is one and the same, and the one who knows this is my guru. This is my conviction. And he says, whatever you see during this waking state, dream state, or deep sleep state, the spark of life is coming from that Brahman alone, that illumines the entire world. The entire world is one. Prajnanam Brahma. In the first verse, he gives the elaborates on the Mahavakya, Prajnanam Brahma. The second Mahavakya comes in the second mantra, second verse, that what is this entire Jagat, whatever you're experiencing, is only that supreme bliss and nothing else. So once your ignorance is removed, you understand that entire world is a play, and I am that supreme Brahman myself. Aham Brahmasmi is the second verse. In the next, he comes with the most famous Mahavakya Tattvamasi. Okay, and he gives the reflection of the true state of the mind, how to contemplate on the Brahman and that you are that, or Aham Brahmasmi, I am that. Okay? That is being Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya is elaborated there. But in this, I have actually gone through a lot of in detail. So, in the last fourth sloka that I did, maybe some of you are not there. He says that a yogi who is meditating on the Pratyakatma, on the himself, then he understands in his quiet mind, meditating upon that Brahman, that individuality merges with the totality. For him, there is no more individuality. All the creatures, all the people, all the things of the world become one. That Brahman in whose light everything else becomes lighted. That is the I am also that. I told you that Satchidananda is the same in my body, your body, everywhere. Ayam Atma Brahma is the first line that gives you the Mahavakya. And he says, every thought of mine is illuminated by that presence of that Paramatma or consciousness. Pratibodha viditam matam amrutatvam bindate atmana bindate viryam vidyaya bindate amrutam. Every thought, whatever it comes to my mind, because the thought itself is not sentient. The body, mind, intellect, thoughts, everything is insentient. There is no life in it. The life comes from that reflection of consciousness. That every thought bears that stamp of consciousness. Otherwise, it is no more alive. It cannot give you any meaning. You become without thought. There is no life force in that thought or the body or anywhere. There has to be that consciousness present. So, and that consciousness is the Srutrasya Srotam. Whatever you're hearing, you are not hearing by these ears, but that consciousness is the Srotras, that Atma is that. Srutrasya Srotram, Manaso Manoya, Vachoho Vacham Sahu, Pranasya Prana. Chakshu Sachakshu, Patimucha Dhiraha, Pratyasman Lokat, Amrita Bhavan. Once you give up all this, then you become the Amrita, the eternal self. So these four Mahavakyas he has explained in 4 verses. Okay. Now in this 5th verse of Manisha Pancakam, he is giving a summary and the phalam. ना पढ़ाई करेगा तो कुछ फल मिलना चाहिए. Once you realize what is the result of that realization. So let's see the verse thoroughly. Yat sauksham buddhi lesa lesata ime. Yat means that. That means what? That Paramatma. Yat saukam buddhi, saukyam buddhi, saukya ambudhi. That means the ocean of bliss. Saukyam is sukham. Sukham says saukya. Sukham ambudhi. Ambudhi means ocean. Ocean means the seas. That ocean of bliss. Lesa lesata. Lesa means little bit, isn't it? Lesa lesata means drop by drop. Sakradayo nibrutaha. Sakra is Indra. Indra is Sakra. Sakradaya means Sakra Adaya. That means Sakra, etc. and others. And Indra and others, Nibrutaha. That means they were contented, they were happy with lesa, with a little, or drop by drop of this ocean of bliss, and you are that. Okay, that ocean of bliss. From that ocean of bliss, the Indra got a very drop of it, and they became very happy. All the devatas got a drop of that happiness, and they became very contented and happy. Okay, so this is the meaning of the first line. Second line, yachite nitaram prasanta kalena labdva munir nibrutaha. Last, yachite means that chitta, in the mind. In that mind, which mind? Nitaram prasanta kalena. Nitaram means always. Prasanta kalena means quietness. Santa prasanta is prakristena santa. Very, very peaceful. In the moments of quietness, prasanta kalena, nitaram, all the time. In that mind, which is very quiet and calm all the time, in that labdha munir nibrutaha. Labdha means having gained, having got that, lav karke, labdha. Munir nibrutaha. Munir means the muni. Muni means the yogis. Nibrutaha. Nibrutaha means they also got fulfilled, or they became happy. So, with the drop of that happiness means total happiness, Indra and other devatas became satisfied, contented. And the munis, the rishis, the yogis, in their mind itself, becoming calm and quiet, they got that, ocean of happiness also. They became happy. Third line, yasmin nitya sukham budho galiteji. Yasmin means from which, Saptami Vibhakti, from which nitya sukham budho. Nitya sukham ambudho. Nityam is always or eternal. Sukham is happiness. Ambudho is ocean. So from that ocean of eternal bliss, okay, from that, Yasmin means that which, from that ocean of eternal bliss, Yasmin nitya sukha ambudho galitadhi. Dhi means intellect. Galita dhi means it is observed in the intellect. It is resolved in the individual intellect. What is resolved? That sukha. That sukha one derives from that consciousness or from that Paramatma. That sukha, Brahmeva na Brahmavid. See, the person who is deriving this sukha, after this, that is merged with in his intellect, he is Brahmeva na Brahmavid. Brahmeva means Brahma eva. That means he is Brahman alone. He is Brahma eva. He verily he is the Brahman. Brahma eva. He alone is the Brahman. Na Brahmavid. Brahmavid means one who knows Brahman. This is the difference you see. Brahmavit means, Vit means knower. Okay. So Brahma, knower of Brahman is Brahmavit. And previous word is Brahma Eva. That means he is Brahman. So he says the person who is already dissolved his intellect into that bliss, he is Brahman. He is not Brahmavit. He is not knower of Brahman, but he himself is Brahman. This is the third line. Fourth line is Ya Kaschit Sa Surendra Bandita Pada. So that person, how do we describe it? Yeah, who's or whoever that Kaschit, whoever the person, Surendra Bandita Padaha, his feet is worshipped. Bandita means bandana karte hain, worship karte hain. Who is worshipping? Surendra, the Devatas. The Devatas worship his feet, who is realized in that Sukha, which merged in the Sukha. Okay? Pandita Padu, Nunam Manisha Mamaha. Even that, because of that, I have the firm conviction that whoever is having such state of mind is my Guru. He may be a Chandala or a Brahmana, but he is my Guru. So the word meaning becomes, I told you word meaning, but I'll tell you the full meaning of the sloka. Little I'll change the sequence, During its moments of utter quietness, Yat Chite Nitram Prasanta Kale. So during the moments of utter quietness, a yogi's mind gains that ocean of bliss. A person, a yogi, which really is established, his mind dissolves in the ocean of bliss. That bliss, that sukham, is even a droplet of that sukham, a drop by drop it comes, it is sufficient to make Indra and other devatas feel contented and happy. So that sukham, which sukham, which is achieved by the yogi or the muni. So Indra is contented a drop of that sukham, and such a man who has dissolved his individual intellect in the ocean of eternal bliss. This is the eternal bliss we are talking about. The Purnam. That eternal bliss, the person whose intellect is merged in the eternal bliss, he himself is the Brahman. And he is not a mere knower of Brahman. The person whose intellect is merged in the eternal bliss, he is himself the Brahman and not the knower of Brahman. So that rare one whose feet are worshipped by the devatas, even by the very kind of very types of devatas indeed, that rare person, he alone is my Guru, and this is my firm conviction. The meaning is complete. Any doubt in this? Okay. Here in this you see, step by step he has come. How systematically he has brought out the summary of all the Upanishads and the result of that. What is the phalam that you get once if someone becomes liberated and he is rejoicing in the ananda, the Brahmananda, how that is the result of your realization. Okay. So Bhagavan Shankara is concluding this text of Manisha Pancakam, the fivefold declaration of truth, after summarizing the entire Vedanta in the preceding 4 verses, based upon the 4 selected Mahavakyas, the selected great commandments of the 4 Vedas. I have told you from these 4 Mahavakyas where they are coming from. Okay, so you should be able to know that. Can you just? I'll just take a. The first Mahavakya is Pragyanam Brahma. It is coming from which Veda?
Rig Veda.
And which Upanishad?
Upanishad.
Upanishad.
Brahman.
Yes. Aitreya. Aitreya. Now next one you will not answer. Shishir Babu will not answer. Next is which Mahamantra you are talking? Aham Brahmasmi. Shishir Babu you don't say. Anybody else? Shiv Babu?
Veda, Brihat Upanishad.
Aham Brahmasmi coming from which Upanishad?
Brihad Upanishad.
Brihad Aranyaka Upanishad. Brihad Aranyaka Upanishad. Third one. Tattvamasi.
Chandogya Upanishad and Samaveda.
Yes, very good. And the fourth one is Ayamatma Brahma.
Mundaka.
No, let somebody else say. Narayani, tell me.
Atharva Veda, Mandukopanishad.
Yes, Mandukya Upanishad, not Mundaka. Mandukya Upanishad.
Mandukya. Okay, thank you.
Okay, that is the difference. Okay. Now we move to our. At least all of you know the 4 Mahavakyas, right? I'm happy. So these 4 Mahavakyas have been compressed into Manisha Pancakam. And once he is summarizing this, at the same time, he is depicting the result of self-realization or liberation. That is, and he is saying this eternal bliss is the result. Ananda, Mahananda, Brahmananda Rao, that is the result of your liberation. Be happy all the time. Okay. So he says this Brahman or Atman is the ocean of absolute bliss. Is the ocean. He's comparing with the ocean. And Shankaracharya uses the word Saukhyam. Saukhyam Ambuda. Saukhyam, it denotes the nature of Atma itself. How is it so? Because Sukha is happiness. But Saukhyam refers to a state of the Atma, is a state when one is absolutely, completely happy. Saukhyam is complete, absolute happiness. And it is not only in the, it's everywhere, in the body, in the mind, in the intellect. Saukhyam means Sukha Swarupam. Saukhyam means Sukha Swarupam. Sukha Swarupam means it is very nature. That is the very nature of myself is Saukhyam. Sukha is only happiness. But Saukhyam becomes the nature of my very nature of happiness is Saukhyam. And that is my own nature. We are forgetful of our own nature of Ananda. Why we are forgetful? Because of ignorance, by lack of knowledge. Because of ignorance, we are forgetting that I am always happy. That we are happy with the small portions of happiness that comes on our way because of um, something we get from the world, and we are happy for a short period of time, but most of the time we are not happy. So, not knowing our true nature, that my true nature is Satchit Ananda, the Ananda is my true nature, happiness is my true nature. Without knowing it, if I know that this is my true nature, then I don't have to look for happiness outside. But we always run, we wander, we search, and do hard work, and you know, do all the wrong things in the world, and then try to get some bits and pieces, drops of happiness from the objects of the world, and that is non-ending process for a small bits of joy. And in all our walks of life, in our relationships, in our possessions, in our actions, all that comes in our way, that gives a joy, but that is temporary joy. All of us can have varied experience, and with this experience of the time and the study that we have done, we all know that the objects of the world, the relationships, even the possessions, whatever we do, that joy is temporary. Even the best of relations is the wedding between the husband and the wife, but that relationship again you'll find temporary joy. Permanent joy is not. Even you, the best thing that you can do is own a property or a house or palatial house you can own, but that also doesn't give you permanent joy. You become a the what you call a very influential person, very powerful person. That also has got defects. So the joy that we derive from the objects of the world, from the people of the world, from the relationships, from all our actions is not permanent. Okay. So all this strive we are doing throughout our life to grasp more things, more relationship, have more people, more friends, more neighbors, make some societies, make WhatsApp groups. All this is temporary. Yes, you will get some happiness temporarily, and so seeking happiness from the outside world, in Vedanta we call it Visaya Ananda. Visaya means objects. Visaya Ananda. That Visaya Ananda, with what is called in Upanishads, we normally associate ourselves with the Visayas and the objects of the world. And sometimes it is also called Visayas are outside. Sometimes we call it also Kosananda, depending on the, based on our Panchakosas. Because we are nothing but a assembly of the Panchakosas. Annamaya kosa. These 5 kosas are assembly. So we get some joy. Suppose my hand is doing, I am able to, I am physically fit, I feel a little happy. So from the Annamaya kosa, some happiness I am deriving. Or my mind is calm and quiet, or some, I love somebody whom I love is near me. So my mind is getting some happiness. That is emotional happiness. But that is all temporary. No person of love, the love itself is not permanent, and the person of love also is not permanent. So you can never have permanent happiness. So this is called Kosananda. Kosananda is from the kosas of the body. Visayananda is from the Visayas, that means objects of the world. And so I think that the happiness is existing in the objects of the world. And what are the types of happiness? Money, possessions, and houses, car, ornaments, clothes, people were very happy with the number of pairs of shoes also. Then the relationships, the possessions, the positions, the power, these are all material possessions. Some people are they rejoice in position, power. Some people rejoice in say possessions. Some people keep the bank balance so that they carry with it. Very well they know they can never carry it to the next world. Okay. So we think that these objects, these position, power, money, possessions, house, car, servants, all these, we think they are giving us pleasure and they give the happiness we seek. But eventually we understand that all this fails. So we realize that these objects of the world, they give us impermanent happiness, which leads us to disaster, distress very often. All of us understand that. Okay. So how do you understand this permanent happiness? Vedanta provides us some guideline. Guideline means it prescribes to understand what is that ananda in this world. Happiness derived from the external objects are three types. One is priyam, moda, pramoda. Okay, priyam, moda, pramoda. Priyam is something when you know one object or people from where we can derive some ananda, and you think of it, you desire it, that itself is giving you happiness. Even a person may not be there, he may not have purchased a car also. But that gives you some happiness that I am going to buy this, or somebody is coming to my home whom I love. So that happiness, that desire to obtain it, it's called priyam or attachment. I am attached to that thought that my loved one will be at home. That is priyam. That is attachment. Then moda. Moda means it's a moha. Moda means moha. It's a passion. The passion comes when you get the object of desire and you derive a different kind of happiness because you obtain it, you get it. That is called moda. Because your passion is fulfilled, but still you have not enjoyed it. You have just obtained it. You have moda. Then pramoda, when you enjoy the object of desire, you get it and you enjoy it. That happiness that you get out of enjoying the objects of desire, that is called pramoda. Prakristena moda. Possessive pleasure. But each of these emotions are transient. They come and go. So when you don't reach the object of desire, but you have a desire, you are in distress. How to get it, what I'll do, all that, you think of it many times. That is the priyam. But even when you possess it, you develop an anxiety that this possession may go away, or this priyam, the moda, I may be deprived of it, somebody may take away, I may not have the pleasure, so that you always have or sometimes you have it and you get bored, having the same things for a long time also you get bored. So all this is moda. So you have a fear of losing it and a boredom of too much of having it. Then third thing is excessive consumption and enjoyment leads to distaste. So all these things in the pramoda is also temporary. You have the best of things, you enjoy it, but if you have it for too long time, you get bored of it. So you think it is not giving me pleasure. So that is pramoda. Okay. So this priya, moda, pramoda are giving us transitory happiness. So what do we do? By analysis, we deduce that this Priya Moda Pramoda is temporary, so it cannot give me permanent happiness. That which is Purnam, complete, that only can give us Purnam or complete happiness. Purnam translates into total, isn't it? That object which is full, complete, without a limitation, that object can give me complete happiness. No object in the world is full, complete, because there is always a limitation. There is a boundary. It will come and go. It will, the best of mango you get, it has a size, so it is not full or unlimited. That will also rot sometimes. So that cannot give me complete happiness. So none of the objects of the world, people of the world, things of the world can provide full, complete, eternal happiness to me. But then what has happened, in the course of time, after studying Vedanta, in our mind, we have already realized, when I'm talking this, you are thinking that, oh, this is all very common thing. We have all already learned so many times. Why you're repeating? I'm repeating. I want to make my point clear that all of us studying here, we have already understood a level of maturity has already achieved. That we realize that our happiness is not in the object of desire. Happiness is not in the object of desire, but only when we complete the desire. That means the desire is finished, desire is complete. That means at the end of the desire only, our happiness remains. Understand? Happiness is not when the desire is arriving, but when the desire is going. That means तुम्हारा काम हो गया, I have no more desires, then I am happy. When a desire is fulfilled, there is a happiness. I am happy when my whatever I desire, जो मनस्कामना किया था, वो पूर्ण हो गया, then only I am happy. Till the time the desire is not fulfilled, I am still working for it. I'm not happy till that time. So when a desire is fulfilled, there is happiness. In other words, when the desire is released, see, desire comes to the mind, then a thought, then the desire. When the desire is coming, we are not happy. Only when the desire is fulfilled or going away, released, then the happiness arises. You see the difference? Desire is not giving me happiness. It cannot give. But when the desire is fulfilled, that gives the happiness. Fulfilling the desire means what? The desire is completed. I have achieved. I have, whatever we wanted to do, that is done. Then the happiness comes. Okay? Which means when there is desire, there is no true happiness. But conversely, when there is no desire, there is true happiness. Did you get that? When there is desire, you are still working for getting something. You are getting fulfilled, desire fulfillment. You are not still fully happy. But when the desire is fulfilled, you are happy. So when there is no desire, you are happy. Isn't it? So now you recollect our study on Bhagavad Gita. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan atmanneva atmana tushta sthita prajna sthaduchyate. Prajahati yada kaman. Kaman means all desires. When you give up, take out, renounce all your desires. Sarvan partha manogatan. Even for the mind also you take out the desires. When there is no more desires, you desire less state. Atmanev Atmana Tushta. That you are satisfied. You are tushta, you are satisfied in yourself only. In the self, you are satisfied. That person is called Sthita Pragya. He is the realized person. Now you are relating this. How this temporary Ananda is not giving me pleasure, but permanent Ananda is only when the desires are fulfilled and I am happy and there is no desire in me. Then only I am fully happy. And that is permanent happiness. You got that? Okay. Now you see, Prajahati Yadakaman Sarban Parsamanagaya. That Sarban is only talking about these material desires. There is a different, there is a nobler desire, which is in the root of our hearts. And that desire seeks the absolute, the complete happiness. Isn't it? We have a desire for moksha. Moksha me bhoyat. Isn't it? What is mumukshutam? Desire for, intense desire for liberation. So desire is there, but the desire is nobler desire, fulfilling desire, liberating desire. When I cultivate that desire, mumukshutam, the noble desire, and that desire, the purpose of the desire is not to acquire or enjoy the objects of the world, but moksha, liberation. And that liberation is, we saw that the Sita Pragya Sadochare is the established in, is the Sita Pragya, is the Jivan Mukta Purusha. Like that, is the, you are seeking the complete happiness, and that is the Brahman. Okay. So you got that how it is being derived. One moment, one paragraph, we said that these objects of the world do not give me complete happiness. Next, we saw how the desires of the world cannot fulfill my happiness. Then we derived that end of the desires is happiness, not the beginning of the desires. When the desires are released, happiness arises. And conversely, when there is no desire, I am completely happy. So we should try to have minimum required desires for worldly life. Minimum. You don't need so many things. You don't need so many people. You can be Atmane Atmana Tushte. You can be happy within yourself, and it's a fact. But then next moment, we derived that there is another type of desire, a nobler desire, which roots in our heart, and that is seeking that complete, absolute happiness. What we saw now is the ocean of bliss. We are seeking that absolute. There is no limitation. There is no boundary to that happiness. That happiness is that Brahmananda. It is not Kosananda. It is not limited into my kosa. It is not limited to Visayananda. It is not with the objects of the world. It is Brahmananda. Brahma Ananda. I am deriving that happiness, that absolute bliss from the Brahma itself. So then we begin to understand that Ananda, Brahmananda and Atmananda is the same thing as Atmananda, and that is my own nature. Myself, the self, the Atman, is the nature of happiness itself. But then that happiness that I am, my true nature, is inside. Pratyagatma, that inside, inner self. But that is covered, that is shielded by something else. Our ignorance, lack of knowledge, that ignorance is shielding that my nature. I am not knowing it. My mind is not knowing that I am that pure Pratyagatma or Atma Brahma, that Atmananda. That lack of knowledge is making me seek for temporary happiness from outside. Okay. So we learn that only with our pure mind, pure intellect, clear intellect, and focusing our mind on the without any desires, on the Pratyagatma, on the underlying ocean of absolute bliss, we can derive that permanent happiness. That means your mind should be pure, clean. Your intellect also should be clean. Why intellect I'm telling? Because with the intellect only that Brahman or the consciousness is reflected in the intellect first, then everything else. That is also part of the mind, yes. But it is in mind and intellect, it should be pure and focused. So mind should think that I am not going to derive any permanent happiness from the visuals outside, not from the Kosananda, but I in the Atmananda. Atmananda is inside me, Pratyeka. So, so devoid of any desires, devoid of any vastu, devoid of any loka, I am focusing on the ocean of pure bliss. That is Brahmananda. So this Brahmananda is so beautiful, so everlasting, so eternal, and so complete, Purnam, that even a few drops of that bliss, when Indra, and we just saw when Sakra, Indra and other devatas, they derived the drops of this, and they become very happy and completed. So this how this is relating here also. Sakradayo Nibruda. So when the Indra gets a few drops of this happiness, they are very fulfilled, they are happy, they are complete. Similarly, same thing happens with the rishis, with the munis, the yogis. Those who seek that happiness, contemplating on the true self, the contemplation with the dhyana or nidhyasana or samadhi. So they are contemplating on the true self and they derive that complete Purnam happiness. Okay. So that happiness within is far more greater, and that is absolute happiness compared to the happiness we derive from the Vishayananda. So this Ananda in Vedanta, either we call Brahmananda, Brahma Ananda is Brahmananda, or Jnana Ananda is Jnanananda. Okay. So whatever, or Atma Ananda is Atmananda. So we give different names, but it is the same. So only those seers, those munis, rishis, who have immersed in that Brahmananda, whose intellect is totally merged in that state of Ananda, they are able to declare that there is no other Ananda than the self itself. There is no more desires. There is no, I don't have anything else to acquire or possess, or I don't have to give up anything also. I am as it is. I don't deny anything. I don't desire anything. I am that self. Okay. I am that Atman. I am the Brahman. Aham Brahmasmi. So those seers, those rishis are called Jivana Mukta Purusha. As I told you, Prajahati Yada Kama. Okay. Sita Prajna Sadokshate. So these Sita Prajnas, who are truly in Purnananda, in the complete happiness, they are the happiest persons. They are wandering on the earth. So these people, they continue to contemplate on the pure self, or on the Supreme Self. That contemplation gives them the clear, that intellect. Intellect, it brings in thoughts, isn't it? Intellect gives in thoughts, but that contemplation comes to such state that there is no more thought. There is no more desire, and there is no thought also. Forget about desire also. That intellect itself merges with the total intellect. Okay? That mind merges into the ocean of absolute bliss. He is not, at this state, he is no more a knower of Brahman. He is Brahman himself. See, that state of Brahmananda or Purnananda or Atmananda, that state is no more, is knowing Brahman. How to get Brahman? This is the Brahman, we talk about the attributes of Brahman. Nirakara, Nirvikalpa, all that we say. So those are only knowing how the Brahman can be. We are trying to measure from our level of intellect. But when the intellect itself is dissolved in the Brahman, that person is no more a ordinary person. He is the Jivan Mukta Purusha. So he is not a knower of Brahman anymore. He is the Brahman himself. So merging into that state of Brahman, the state of Brahman is what? The Sat Chit Ananda, existence, consciousness, bliss. That is the only destination. And that is the only destiny for us also. As long as you make your destiny as, or your Purusartha, as the moksha is the Purusartha, so that your destiny becomes merging with the Brahman, liberation. For us, this merging in the state of Brahman is the destiny, is the destination, and absolutely bliss, and that is the natural, eternal law of life. So Bhagavan Shankara, out of compassion, has brought out this highly profound and ordinarily incomprehensible truth. It's very, very profound. See, what you're listening today is Bhagavan Shankara's deliberation on this topic. It's the highest level of Vedanta that you can listen. But this itself can uplift you to the absolute bliss that you desire, not as a desire of objects, but desire of the self. So that truth is being bringing out in a very simple way, giving so many examples. Absolute bliss. And he is comparing with the ocean of bliss. And so we mortals, why you are saying mortals? Because we are martya. We are subject to death. That physical body is subject to death. So we are mortal. But what is not mortal, what is eternal, is the consciousness that we must understand as myself. And with that, combined with the physical body, when you utilize the physical body, you endeavor to raise ourselves to that highest level of Brahma Jnana. And once you raise yourself to that level of Brahma Jnana, you realize that ultimately I am not only the Brahmavit, I am also Brahman himself. Okay. So a seer or a yogi or a Sthita Prajna, he knows that he is not only a Brahmavit, he is also a Brahman. Same way, we must endeavor to come to that state where we understand. Now all of us understand. We have matured enough, we have enough knowledge to know what is Brahman. We are all Brahmavit now. We must strive to become the Brahman itself. So that first step is to reduce the desires. Desireless is requirement, but whatever you can remove desires, you remove that. Not necessary at all. And only one desire should remain, that noble desire of moksha, an intense desire for liberation is required. And if you make that point, yes, it will become. You will be able to realize in this life, here and now. You don't have to wait for next life. So, Bhagavan Shankara says, the person who has come to this understanding is a master, he is a Sthita Prajna, and to me, he is my guru. You may call him a Chandala or a sweeper, but or Brahmana, but he is my guru. This is my conviction. A person with this knowledge is my guru. So our learning from this is we must strive from the Brahmabit, we should become Brahman itself. And this is not impossible. This will happen in this life and here and now. This is my conviction also. With this, we'll conclude this beautiful, profound text, Manisha Pancakam. Okay, we'll close it now. Thank you. Hari Om. Hari Om.